YouTubers, welcome to this week's live stream. I'm absolutely pumped and excited to bring you the absolute value that you deserve. In this week's video, this live stream, we're going to be looking at the best cameras for creators for way under $1,000. It's going to be absolutely jam-packed with value. And in a moment, I want to jump onto Amazon and show you some of the best deals, some of the best cameras. And do not go anywhere because I've got some power tips to help you core fans, so stick around for those power tips to show you what I truly think are the best cameras for creators and so much more. Later on, we're going to have some content creator questions, we're going to read some value, and depending on who hangs around in the live stream, the green room, as I like to call it, we may even have a bit of a one-to-one. I just want to do a brief shout out and thank you to Ash, Content Ash, who is absolutely awesome and gave us a shout out earlier, and thank you so much again, and thank you for all that you do. Keep going, you rock. Now, if this is your first time here, I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I make weekly content about cameras, lighting, editing, lighting, jumping out of a window. I don't know. I do anything to do with content creation and I bring you value. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. Hit the like button if you're getting value as we pop over to Cam 2. So I'm going to jump over to Cam 2. We're going to jump to Amazon and let's have a look of the first camera. And I've got it in my list here because there's a few I want to talk about. And the first one, because I can never remember how to spell it, is the Sony ZV-E10. It's the first camera I wanted to bring up. Now at the moment, it's $679, so basically $680. Let's not lie about it. I want to bring you guys the truth of what I think of these cameras. I don't have this personally, but this is a very good camera to consider. Stick around because in a moment I want to show you an even better camera than this. But this is a really good camera, to be fair. So the Sony Alpha, as they're now calling it, ZV, that's the E10. Bear with me. That was a bit of a, here we go. That was the camera I wanted to show you actually. Anyway, so this is roughly about, this is, so say 660, as Amazon is throwing things at me now. And this is a really good little camera. It has a attached lens to the camera already, so you can't change the lens. But what's really cool, has a really good external microphone, which comes to this really cool, nifty, I don't know if you can see that, I don't know if you can make that bigger. Dribblers get involved, but you can see there that has a really nifty internal microphone with a little cool little windbreak, so it's really good for recording outside. So if it's a windy day or even wind that you can't hear, it's just really good to record audio. So as a content creator, that's something you want to think about. Audio, really important. Power tip, if you don't know that already, smash the like button if you're getting value. Now, one little nifty thing about this camera, it is a mirrorless camera. It has a turn screen, which is really cool. If you're getting value so far, check out our merch. Absolute value. They've only got one left at the moment, so what are you missing at? Check this out. Now, all the cameras I'm going to be talking about today, I do have links to them in my description. Bear in mind, I will get a tiny commission if you buy any of those cameras from the links, so you guys rock. But this is a really cool camera, so it's way under 700. Really good price. The lens on this camera is really good for both photos and video. Really good. It does record in 4K. Apparently, it does a really good job of that, which is really cool. And what's really cool about this is you have different settings. So there's one here with an attached sort of mini hand tripod, if you will. You can get a version, probably slightly more, but you can get an SD card with that. You can get an extra battery pack by the look of it, and get one with sort of a wireless microphone, battery pack thing, and a little holder. So that's really cool. So what's really cool about this camera, actually, if I'm not mistaken, it does actually have a mode when you can actually focus on objects. So say if you're doing videos about you know, you're trying to sell stuff. I suppose you could say like I'm doing now, really. But you know, if you really want to, I don't know, sell something that you've made yourself or something like that, and you really want, or you're doing a review on a product, that sort of thing. That's a really little cool feature. So it will snap into that, and I believe it does have a button for that. But let's go on to our next camera, and let's have a brief look to see if we've got any value. And its younger brother for what, £20 more. So depending on what part of the world you are, that will be $700, maybe $750, depending on what part of the world you live in. Now, its younger brother, this Sony Alpha ZV-E10, say that 10 times fast. And basically, the biggest difference between this and the other one, you're probably thinking, why is it £20 more? Now, I personally would say this is massively worth it. This is much more in the trends at the moment because unlike its competitor, the other one, against the Canon M50 that can interchange its lenses, the camera I've got over here, I'll just briefly show you on the main camera. If you can see it there, I've got the M50, which I use on a weekly basis to bring you guys value. Smash the like button if you're getting value from this video. Now, what's really cool about this, because now you can actually change the lens. So you can buy different lenses depending on what you're going for. You know, you can buy sort of, wide angle lenses if you for sort of filming, or if you go in for sort of, you want to, take photos of mountains and stuff like that. But what's really cool, for those of you that perhaps had an older Sony camera, you might have an older lens sitting around, you can now use that or get an adapter to then use that. So that's really cool to think that you now got the possibility to not only have a fantastic camera that has the ability to autofocus on objects really quickly. I believe it has an actual button for that on this camera. It does have the internal microphone, which is really cool. I won't be surprised, don't hold me to this, if it probably has an audio. Yeah, I'm pretty certain it has an audio jack on this camera, which makes it a really good camera for creators. But just the fact you can interchange the lenses, so that really gives you the flexibility and the ability to think, right, I want to do all these things. I want to, I want to get a small angle shot for this particular thing, that sort of thing. I want to change my lenses. So that's really cool. And what I love about the touchscreen, I'm sure many of you can relate to this. If you have, say for argument's sake, that you have, for most of us creators, we are the directors, we are the cameramen, we're the one-man band, we're all of it. So to have a flip screen on a camera, especially nowadays, it may be becoming something more normal, and obviously with phones and that, with selfie cameras and stuff like that. But what's really cool is now you've got that flip screen, it just makes it so much easier to record. I know myself, when I'm using my M50, which I love, by the way. I'm going to get to that a little bit in a moment. But what I love about cameras now that have flip screens, it just makes it so much easier. When my first sort of photo camera, I tried to film with it, and it only had a screen on the back, and that was just a real pain. So I had to make sure the focus was right, and the focus didn't work, and sometimes I thought I had a good shot, and then went to post, it was no good. So that's why, to be fair, for a long time I personally just use point and shoot cameras, because they had to turn the screen anyway, and also it was just easier. You just point, shoot, record, off you went, which is what you can do with your phone, isn't it? So what's really cool about these mirrorless cameras, rein it in, Dave, smash the like if you're getting value, is the fact is now it makes it so much easier to record, so much easier to take quality pictures. And if you want that viewfinder, which is something that the M50 has, you can still do that. But I just like the screen, and it's really cool. And with a lot of these cameras, you can just press on the screen what part you want the camera to focus on, which is really, really cool. Definitely smash value if you're getting value. So let's just go on to Cam 2 then. Cam 2, here we go. You're going to get value from this video. All right. So if you're just joining us, I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I make weekly YouTube videos on content creation, editing, lighting, filming, what cameras are best for YouTube, and so much more. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. So would I buy this camera? Would I buy this Sony ZV-E10? Which is a bit of a mouthful, if I'm brutally honest, but it is a quality camera that I would highly recommend, and no doubt you could do streaming on it as well. So it's highly recommended for anyone that wants to autofocus on objects, if people want to do 4K filming, if they want to take amazing photos. This camera is definitely one to look at. But in a moment, I'm going to be showing you why I love the camera. I'm going to show you in a moment. Now, I'm going to show you, for those of you that hung around to this point in the video so far, I'm going to show you my favorite camera still is the M50. Let's see if we can get a good deal on this for you guys. There's loads of great deals on the Mark II, which is basically just its younger brother. But I'm just going to see, I've got a link to all these cameras in my description, but I just want to see, that's strange. Boop, 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 boop. That's strange. I've actually found a link for you where you can get the M50 for just over £400, which will be about $500-600. But for some reason, I can't find it now. Here I'm on live. So let's just click on. Why is it doing that to me? It's not there. Why is it not there? Bear with me. Let's just click on that for now then. So basically, why do I love the M50? I absolutely love this camera. I've got it behind me now. For those of you that watch my Tuesday videos, I use it all the time because it's really good with photos, but I use it on a weekly basis for doing weekly content, weekly videos, and it comes with a kit lens, which is brilliant. It's a 15 to 45mm. Obviously, because it has interchangeable lenses, which you may be able to see. Because of that, you can actually put an adapter, put an old lens on if you wish, put a sort of bigger lens on it, or there's lots of lenses you can buy that are Pacific 4mm cameras, and you can get everything from sort of 12mm right up to sort of 300, 400 plus. So, you know, you've got that really wide range of creativity when it comes to lenses, either in photography or film, which makes it much easier. Hello, I've just noticed you remember. Yes, hello, Amazing Gamer, welcome. I just want to say welcome to this true fan. There you are. Welcome, hello. So I've only just seen that live chat. Welcome, mate. Welcome. Hope you're enjoying the live stream. If you are, smash the like button, and to you and everyone else watching, feel free to share this with family and friends. Now, why do I love the M50? I'm going to be brutally honest. It's got an audio jack, so you can instantly attach a shotgun mic to it, a clip-on mic, a wireless mic, you know, and straight away that massively improves your audio, which is a massive deal as a content creator. So if you're recording indoors, if you're doing head videos, as we like to call it, if you're filming outside especially, again, it's fantastic. And obviously it depends on what you know, what microphone you get, but my microphones only cost like £20-30, which would be, sorry, I don't know, say $40-50. Check out our merch if you're getting value. We've got some new merch on there as well. And as it's fireworks night, I thought I would, you know, dress up for you guys, and I've actually got a beer in here, so cheers. Absolute value. Dun, 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 dun. Right, why do I love this camera? I'm going to look at the M2 actually, just to see. Now, with the Mark II, there's some great deals at the moment. There's one with an SD card, which I believe I've got on the link. There's one here for obviously about £100 more, where you get filters, SD cards, extra chargers, a bag, a tripod. Is that worth it? As first, an extra lens by the look of it. Let's have a look at that. Wow, okay. So it literally comes with all sorts of stuff. Is that worth it for an extra £100? No, I guess so, because you've got an ultra SD card, which would probably be fine for photo and videos. An extra cap, by the look of it. A nice little nifty bag. They're always, a decent one of them is always worth 50 quid, isn't it? Yeah, why not? You know, it's cool little filters. Could be something to mess around with. Yeah, why not? I would just go with what I would want. So I would go with a sort of a proper tripod. They're saying that there's nothing wrong with those sort of tripods. On both my cameras tonight, I'm using sort of £15-20 tripods, and I've had one of them for 15 years, as some of you may know, and I've been using on this camera here. I've been using this particular tripod for over 15 years now. It's been everywhere. I've used it for films and videos, and it's been all over the shop, up mountains and cities, and it's still pretty much as I got it. I think personally it's all down to how you use your equipment, isn't it? I think it's has a big part to play when doing that. But so I personally, I mean, I love these Extreme cards. I use, put in the comments below actually what SD cards you use. I'll just be really interested to see. I've been here since you had, oh, wicked. Thank you very much. You've been here since I had 200 subscribers. That is awesome. I'm just going to put that in case, awesome. Welcome. So you are a true fan to the TVR creators. No, thank you. It means a lot to all the videos you watch. I believe I have actually watched a few of your videos a little while ago. Feel free to put a link, and that's not something I know already subscribed, but feel free to put a link in the comments, and I'll check out your channel and see what new videos you got. I've no problem doing that. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I personally, if I was, well, I've already got 2 or 3 of them, but if I was going to get another one, I'd probably get one of these Extreme cards at 90 megabits per second or higher, just because I mainly do video now on a weekly basis, and I just think they're brilliant. They're robust, they're just really good, and you know, as someone who's been editing for a long time, I really do slightly notice a difference in quality by having a better SD card compared to, like, you know, a cheaper one. And these can cost, you know, I mean, to be fair, nowadays they're not too expensive. You can get one for, you know, £10-20 sort of thing, $30, whatever. And they are brilliant. They are really good. I mean, put in the comments below. I've got one on the shelf somewhere. If any of you remember mini DV tapes or even high 8 or anything before that, I'd just be really interesting to know if anyone watches this video, if you remember them. But yeah, when I first started filming, I used to use mini DV tapes, and a couple more cameras are still up there. Back in the days of Firewire and all that business. I don't know what you think to that. But no, I love the M50 for multiple reasons. So it has a turn screen. I can change the lenses if I want to, though I've only changed it with my M100 at the moment. It does have a viewfinder that I personally don't use, but has a really cool mount. Well, I always put on my microphone, has some great settings, has a nice record button, which is just really nifty when you're recording. Just have a slight crop on recording, but I've got so used to how I film, it doesn't really bother me. You can record in HD and 4K with the Mark 1 and the Mark 2 of the M50. The only real difference I know, and I think there's about £50 to £100 difference or dollars, is that it has a clean HDMI on the Mark II and a few more settings. So that's just, you know, and I suppose you could say, if you want, you know, if you're if any of you watching this now either live on the replay, if you're a type of person that just wants the newest gadget, nothing wrong with that, and get those extra features. But, you know, if you want to bargain, you can probably get a second-hand M50 for sort of 400-ish, which is really good value. I always recommend I know you will anyway, because, you know, we have the best fans here, but, you know, just check the reviews of any buyer that you buy, you know, if you go on a marketplace and all that sort of jazz. Something I would highly recommend. But I love this camera, absolutely love the M50. For those of you that have been watching for a while, and I know I sometimes perhaps repeat myself a little bit when it comes to this camera, but as one of my favorite creators says, Sean Cannell, it says, as a creator, I can't remember word for word, but something like it's like, as a creator, we have to repeat ourselves, because there's always new people that come to our videos every week that have never seen your content. So just bear that in mind, which is, I know, something else that I say a lot. But, you know, it has a great flash, easy to change the lenses, great sense, feels nice, it's small, it's light. I was a little bit concerned about that when I first got it, but now I love it. I cannot rate this higher as a creator. So if you're a creator, I cannot rate higher than getting yourself the Canon M50. It's an absolute brilliant camera. Now, if you're watching this on the replay, subscribe, like if you're getting value. At some point I'll probably add some markers and some cards to other videos that you may find interesting, to do with other cameras that I talk about here on the channel, and other sort of content like that. Do not go anywhere, because I've got an awesome power tip coming up soon. But I just want to say, without going into too much detail, I think there is actually a link in the description actually to a review on the Canon M50 Mark II and how much I love this camera. I've made lots of videos about the M50, so I won't go into more detail, but if you want a super power tip, right, for any of you watching this live or on the replay or weeks down the road, if you want a power tip, if you don't take anything away, Canon yourselves, if you're watching this now, I recommend to any of you creators and YouTubers, filmmakers, I recommend you get yourself the M50 as your go-to camera. If you're doing photography, if you're doing videos, if you're making YouTube content, if you're making a short film for yourself, your channel, for college, uni, whatever, I massively highly recommend this camera. The quality for way under $1,000 is brilliant, because people think that you have to spend thousands to get the best camera. And I tell you what, when you think that most people watch your content on their phones, the content, the quality that you can get on the M50 is incredible. So without more further ado, I can't recommend it enough. Absolute value. You're going to get value from this video. Alright, so if this is your first time here, I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I make weekly content on the best cameras for YouTube, lighting, editing, audio, and so much more. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. Hit the like button if you're getting value. And I just want to go over to the next camera then, as we go back to Cam 2, as we fly over. Let's see what's going on in the live chat. Here he is. Look. Hey, Brad. Welcome to the green room. Right. So we've just been talking about the M50. It's probably great timing for you, Brad, as I know you've watched many a time of me talking about the M50. But we're now going over to the GoPro. Let's see what deals are going for the GoPro. Right. So the GoPro Hero 9 Black. I do have a link to this in my description. At the moment, it's going for just under $350. We'll say $350 for argument's sake. And if you're a travel blogger, if you do a lot of traveling, if you do a lot of outdoor filming, I believe you can live stream with these, but look into that before you do. It does say webcam, so there you go. This is something perhaps I might look into as a very expensive webcam. But something I will look into more before I do it. They just take great photos, 20 megapixel, which is fantastic really, still in this day and age. Waterproof action camera. If you're doing a lot of, out in the mountains, out in the field, you're a bit of an Indiana Jones, I would highly recommend something like the GoPro, any of the GoPros really, but especially this one, because they're just great cameras. They have lots of options here you can get with different features and grips you can get for your car and all that jazz. You don't need me to tell you, just go and check it out, go and have a look, see what you think. And for $350, that is pretty good. I mean, okay, a normal webcam probably costs between £20 and £60. I know you can get a really good one for about $90, which I've also played with the idea of, but I don't think they'll be much better than these. But if you don't want to buy any camera, if you're doing live streaming, actually, I would highly recommend, if you can, trying to use your phone, because you can just get free apps that connect to YouTube or connect to OBS, that sort of thing, or through your computer. Depends how you live stream, and you can sort of do that and set it up. And you're probably thinking, why haven't you done that, Dave? I don't know. I just like webcams. Why do I like webcams? Be brutally honest, because you can just connect them by USB. They connect, and off you go. They're just simple, and when you're live streaming, sometimes it's about what's efficient. If you want to check out our merch, there's a link to that in the description. It's awesome. Ooh. I do have a beer in there because it is firework night. Way! Let's have a look what's going on in the value. So yeah, would I get a GoPro? I tell you what, I'm being brutally honest with you guys, I would highly consider a GoPro if you're very much outdoors, it might get wet, that sort of thing. If you, maybe if you're on your bike, all that sort of jazz. I would highly recommend that. And for $350, that's pretty good when you think that, something like the M50 and the Sonys we were looking at earlier were like $600-700. But obviously they're a bit more robust. I think it sometimes is about, what sort of creator you are, what you're going for, all that sort of jazz. That's something to bear in mind. And just sort of the type of content that you're going to make. I personally wouldn't use a GoPro as a main camera, but I would definitely consider it. If I believe I could use it as a webcam, I might consider it as a webcam in the future. If I start doing more outdoor filming, I want something even smaller than my M50 or my M100, I may consider a GoPro eventually. So, that's something to, bear in mind. And obviously, if you're going to pay $300-400 for it, it's going to be pretty good. Than if you bought, one of the knockoff ones for £50 or $60-70, that the quality, in a nice positive way when it comes to cameras, you do pay for what you get. You're going to get value from this video. Alright! So just before I get to my super power tip, I just want to thank you so much for getting to this point in the video. And please put in the comments below, which of these cameras are you most excited about? Which of these are you thinking of getting? Have you bought a camera recently? Are you thinking, you was thinking one of these or something different, but after watching this video, you're now thinking, what, Dave? I'm going to click on one of those links you've got in your description and I'm going to buy one of those cameras now. But in a moment, for you core fans that have got this far in the video, I'm going to give you a power tip as a potential first camera or a second camera, or just an all-round great camera that I've now found a link for you that's in my description for the Canon M100. Let's have a look. So, here it is. Now, technically, it has been outdated by the M200, which, as you can see, is £500-600 or dollars, and you can get really good lenses for it and all that jazz. But for £200 less, for $289, let's say $390 for argument's sake, you can now get a Canon M100 here, and there's 2 left. What you're waiting for? Go and buy them. Now, if you want to spend a bit less, for you core fans that have got this far in video, I don't mind saying, I got mine off eBay second hand. I got a white one and I love it. Apparently over the pandemic it was bought as like, a potential hobby. Somebody was going to get into photography, never bothered using it, and they sold it on eBay, and I think I got it for, I don't know, let's say about 200. I can't remember now. I'm awful when it comes to that. And what's really good about this, as well as my M50, has the same lens, the 15 to 45mm, which is brilliant for videos. You can get a nice wide angle shot, or you can zoom in a little bit. It has a really cool flip up screen. I don't know if it will show it here. Now, the only thing, I'm being brutally honest with you guys, it doesn't have an audio jack, but it does record fairly good audio. So if you're recording indoors, which a lot of us creators do, let's face it, in our home studios or in our bedrooms or attics or garages or wherever we're filming, it'll be more than fine. And when you think it costs like half the price of the M50, that could be a very good first camera for a lot of people. So that's my power tip. It has the same lens, the sensor's almost as good, has some cool features, has a really nifty button on the top, really simple. It's just literally just photo, automatic or film, really simple. So if you're just getting started, you don't want to mess around with the settings. I know myself, because I spent most of my video and filmmaking career, if you will, on point and shoots, I like cameras that are simple. Being brutally honest, I can't be bothered to keep jumping in and out of 50 seconds and mess around with shutter speeds or the rest of it. I just want to go, right, this is the video, this is the film I'm making, press record, off you go. That's what I love about this. So, not only have you got the photo button there, you've also got you can't see my finger, but you've got a really cool record button, holds really nice in your hand. My little thing is the SD card was a bit awkward to get to, but that's just me being silly. But I do like the fact it actually makes it quite nifty that the selfie screen, if you will, or the touch screen, flips up the top way, so it's not in the way. and it's just a really cool little camera, and I use it for B-roll. I've made some really cool videos. If you want to see them, check them out on the channel around the M100. And I really do like this camera. It's really small, but it feels quality at the same time. And for the price, it's great. And, you know, you could say it's about the same as the GoPro, but being brutally honest, that's a completely different camera. So, you know, if you want a first-time camera, something that takes fantastic photos, takes great film, it's a cool little, you know, it's a camera that's just for everybody. As a power tip to you core fans that have got this far in the video, I would highly recommend, so I've just not on the camera, the Canon M100. It's an absolute brilliant little camera. Right, let's see who's in the green room. As we are now here, I've got some questions actually, content creation questions that have been asked over the last few weeks or so on Instagram and Twitter. I just thought I'd throw them in. So the first question was over on Instagram, and it says, best camera for YouTube? M50. I've talked about it already. I've talked about it in many videos, but if this is your first time here for whatever reason, I cannot recommend the M50 enough. I absolutely love the Canon M50. It's a brilliant camera, absolutely superb, absolutely brilliant, and go and check out my reviews and videos on it here on the channel. Go and check them out now after this video, because it's brilliant. It's just a brilliant camera. Question 2 was on Twitter. Best editing software for creators. Now, I know a lot of you use Adobe. I use Adobe for years. I know people use DaVinci Resolve, so I can never say that properly. I know people use Sony Vegas, or whatever it's called now. People obviously use Adobe Pro. People use iMovie. There's loads. A little power tip actually I would use, or I would give, sorry, would be something I didn't do really when I started editing. Something I wish I did do is, if you can, find trial versions of the programs that you like the look of. I know this sounds a bit long-winded, but bear with me, and try them all, or at least try 2 or 3, because, you know, what I think's better and what you think's better will be different. You know, I will edit a video differently to you. I will edit such and such differently to you, and vice versa. So what I might really get on with, you might get on with something different. So I personally would say find your own editing software, but if you really wanted me to say one, I would go with one I've not even mentioned, and that's an editing software I use every week, and that is Magic Movie Edit Pro. I think the newest version is 2022. You can get it for about £50, which would be about $60 or so on Amazon. I haven't got a link to that, but, you know, it's a power tip. Go and check it out. And what I like about it, this is what I like about it. It's really easy to edit YouTube videos, really easy to edit in general. It very rarely crashes. I think it's crashed once in the 2 or 3 years I've been using this software. And when most programs, I'll be brutally honest, crash every other video, or if you take too long to edit. But, you know, it's just really good. And you can actually, you know, if you don't mind paying a bit extra, you can actually buy extra effects later. And what's really cool about that is sometimes I find you can get very much overwhelmed. Now, I know some people say it's good to have the Pro one because you know you can grow with it and you can span within it and you've got more tools, which is fine. If that's what you prefer, go with that. But if you just want something that's as simple, you know, it does what you want it to do. You're quite happy with the simple transitions, because let's face it, in most videos, you're not going to use all weird zigzaggy stuff in most videos, are you? You're literally going to use simple trades or crossovers, and that's pretty much it. So I would highly recommend that. Anyway, a bit long-winded. Well, next question was, can you use your phone to edit videos? And the simple answer is yes. Some of the biggest creators on YouTube use their phones for everything: filming, streaming, editing. And the same I'd go with again. I would say just go on the App Store or on the Play, or whatever it's called on the Android. I should know because I've got an Android phone. But I've been Dumbledored the word. Help me out. And I would literally I would just play around. I would download maybe a couple of free ones, see what they're like. If they've got like weird, you know, like logos on, you know, footmarks or whatever, perhaps just buy one for a couple of quid or whatever. So, you know, I would just test around. I know Canva does some really cool stuff. But yeah, can you? Yes. Next question. What is a good light for filming? That's quite a cool question, actually, because, again, it depends on what you're filming, but you can't go wrong with a floodlight. I have two. Because my studio is not the biggest in the world, I just have one when I'm filming my videos. And if you're using your phone or camera, it gives a really nice light, which just makes it absolutely brilliant for filming, just makes it dream and makes the editing process so much easier. I do have videos about that. So that would be that. So if you want my power tip, I would say get yourself a floodlight, get yourself a tripod, something we're not mentioned about enough in my personal opinion, and get yourself a Canon M50. I should do a little pack, shouldn't I, of what you could get. And definitely enjoy what you do. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to love and leave you now. I hope you got value from today's video. I've got some great, all the cameras we talked about in today's videos. There's links to them in the description. Go and check them out. You can find us on Twitter if you want to get all the latest of when our newest videos are coming on live, either on YouTube and on Instagram. You can connect with us on Instagram, see what we're doing, always do cool photos there. And just welcome to the channel, welcome to the TVR universe. You here now that watch every week, those of you that are silent listeners, like my friend Leslie, for example, I know watches every week, and I know other of you have came to me over the last few weeks saying secretly you'll be watching. If you're watching now, thank you so much. It means so much to me for those of you that stick around week in, week out, listen to me drone on. Honestly, it really does mean the world, and it's nice to watch this channel slowly growing. It really does mean a lot. And for you, Reezy, sorry if I've said that wrong, have been here since 200 subscribers. Thank you so much. Special shout out to you. So anyway, so I'm going to love you and leave you there. And if you watch this on a replay, check around the cards. I'm going to add 2 end cards at the end of the video, which will be something to do with cameras that will help you give you more value. There'll be cards within the video. Anyway, if you don't take anything else away from this, get yourself the Canon M100. But more importantly, enjoy what you're doing. Improve with every video. Enjoy fireworks night. Have a great weekend. And as always, guys, do it together now. Get your value. You guys rock. You guys rock. You guys rock.